How does a pastor of the good Lord support a misogynist, a xenophobe, a homophobe, a guy with a history potentially tied to Epstein? I mean, the dude has had a checkered past. How does someone like you support a person like that?
It's a great question, and I actually had that question a lot during the campaign, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
And I was doing an interview with a, journalist from CNN, and she was very sincere. She asked that
Christian News
question.
Network, very
Yes, yes,
favorable.
yes, of course, She asked that question that you just asked right there. How could someone like me, pastor, support someone like him? And she said, "Do you actually believe God can use someone as flawed and messed up as Donald Trump to accomplish his will?" And my response was simple. God only uses people as flawed as Donald Trump to accomplish his will. I can take you through a whole cast of characters all the way from the very beginning, the very end of the Bible. All of them were tore up from the floor up, just like me and just like you. Do I agree with everything in Donald Trump's past? No, neither does he. Do I agree with every decision that the president makes? No, I'm not in a cult at all. However, I recognize and I see he is doing what he said he was going to do, which is to make America great again. And that's what I want in a president. And, my statement when I was on the campaign trail was pretty simple. Pastors, a lot of pastors would say, I have a hard time supporting Donald Trump. And I said, well, guys, here's the deal. Jesus Christ is not coming down from heaven to run for president of the United States. That would be a major demotion. He's the King of Kings. He's not taking a demotion. So here's the thing. Jesus is not going to be on the ballot, but Jezebel is. So you got to choose wisely. And listen, it was so obvious as a Christian. Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, someone who in his first term had been the most pro Christian president in modern history, compared to Kamala Harris, when a person shouted out, Jesus is king, she said, you're in the wrong place. It's a black and white. There wasn't a gray thing. And so we managed it. We won. And now great things are happening.
Great things. What's the greatest thing you think that's happening right now? What's
Oh,
the
man.
greatest thing and what's the worst thing happening right now?
Well, I would say as a pastor, I'm biased. I love that the faith office has brought up over 2,000 pastors to the White House to pray, to worship, just saturate the place in the presence of God. That speaks volumes to Donald Trump. He wants pastors at the White House. There's no political gain. Pastors aren't gaining him anything politically now. So for me, I appreciate that. But obviously, in regards to policy, I think the clearest, greatest accomplishment so far is the shutting off of the southern border, because it's not just people that are being tracked over. It's fentanyl that is just, the death rates are incredible, the drugs. So shutting off the southern border and then rounding up the bad guys and sending them back. I think that's the greatest, because that protects our citizens from violent crimes, but also from deadly drugs. And, the numbers of the amount of fentanyl that is laced within drugs that are on the street. I mean, it's the odds of you, you know, thinking you're taking a painkiller and then boom, you're dead with fentanyl. So I would say is the greatest. Obviously, my opinion, the worst part of the administration so far is they just haven't had enough time to do everything they said they were going to do. There's still so much more to do. And you listen, America's a big, big cruise liner. You cannot turn the boat around in a moment like a speedboat. It just takes time. And some of us, we're just a little impatient. We're just a little impatient. And I'm one of those guys.
It is wild. I heard Obama on the campaign trail yesterday talking about everything that Trump has done, and he listed off a whole litany of things. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's been 11 months. It
Yeah.
feels like in 11 months, more has happened than in some people's 2 terms completely. So it's just
Right.
wild.
There's so much to do. It feels like you're eating the elephant, right? And it's so daunting. We got to eat this elephant, but you just have to realize you got to take a bite at a time. And that's
Yeah.
what the administration is doing. It's a bite at a time, because the elephant of fixing this country is so much bigger than I think any of us really recognize.